So here's the grid for your junior SM90s and 110s. So it's Daniel Stevenson on pole position with Luca Wilkinson in second. Joe Mostika in third with Joel Grieg in fourth. George Bowles in fifth place, Mason Greasley in sixth, Ollie Pearson in seventh with Ruby Booth in eighth place on the 86 machine. 103.298 from her. Rest of the field going up. George Bartle in ninth place, Hudson Cooper in 10th, Charlie Pearson in 11th place, and then Billy Carter rounding the grid in 12th position on the 85 machine. So a small grid, but of course the juniors always do provide some close racing. So the rider's heading round very shortly. There's the 76 machine. I'm not sure where on circuit that is. I don't think that's around the start-finish line. I think that's around the back half of the circuit. I think where that rider is. Yeah, it is. It's right at the top at the hairpin. So he's had an issue, and I don't think he can start it up. And yeah, that's the 76 machine. It's a bit unfortunate. That is Luca Wilkinson. So Luca Wilkinson on completely the other side of the circuit, and it looks like he's got an issue with the bike. So he's having a chat with the marshal there, but that's about it. I think someone's heading up there now. It's a long old run. It's going to be a while until he gets there, but we'll see if you can get a shot of that epic running. But the bike's been pulled off the circuit. Rider clearly not happy, but rescue is on the way. There it is. It's a good pace. It's a long old run he's done at that pace, so he's managed to keep that pace up. Just see when he stops. But yeah, but the race is starting. Green flag drops as we've been distracted by a running man. The race has started, so we're back with that now as everyone gets away. Daniel Stevenson, the number 11, managing to hold on to that. Now all the rest of the marshals run into position, so we were one bike short of that one, of course, but everyone else breaking away. So everyone going through. Still cracking start from Daniel Stevenson. He's completely broken away from this one, and of course we missed race 1 of this last time. Due to a power issue that we had at the top of the venue here, but we've got that sorted now, and now we've got race 2 for you now. So Daniel Stevenson on the number 11, still breaking away, and then there's the rest of them. There's Joe Mostika there in third position, and he's got the company of the 67. I believe that's Ruby Booth. Seeing it says Booth on the back of it. Very bright coloured liveried leathers there. You couldn't miss that from a mile away, could you? There we go, as we're going to cross the start-finish line now to finish lap 1. And there's your timing screen up there. So it's Daniel Stevenson leading the way, Joel Grieg in second, Joe Mostika in third, George Bowles in fourth, Ruby Booth in fifth position as well. So there we go, as they go through. And there we go. No, so that is George Bowles in there. So I thought it said Booth on the back of those leathers. It actually says Bowles, I'm guessing. So there we go. So it's George Bowles in the 67 there, the third rider in this little pack of 3 as they go down into the thing. There's the recovering bike there in the back. And yeah, it's unfortunate that the 76 Luca Wilkinson there wasn't able to start the race with an issue with the bike there. Now 13 laps to go. So still long old races, I feel, these 15-minute races. But of course, I think they're all 15-minute races across the entirety of the season. Just, of course, different lap time lengths, of course, means different amount of laps because it's a very short lap. Yeah, they've got 14 laps compared to the 8 or so that they had at Three Sisters on the last round. Here's the rest of the field though, coming through. 27 there, diving down the inside. Joe Mozzie Mosticker can't quite do it this time, but it looks like he's got the outside line now into that. But it is Joel Grieg who's just got the power out the corner. Slightly outbrakes himself though. Runs slightly wide. Joe now coming back. Really aggressive gear change there from Joe. Manages to get it back though and starts it down. There's the 67 George Bowes. He's right at the back of this. And I can see it does definitely say Bowes on the back of those leathers. I saw it said both. There we go. So I've been corrected. Good camera work there from that cameraman. Managed to get a good zoom in. There we go. So your race leader is still Daniel Stevenson. He's kind of broken away already. He's 3.5 seconds up the road, so he's kind of cleared it. So he's off. Joel Grieg, though, is still in second place, but he's just lost it to Joe Mozzie Mosticker. Joe Mozzie Mosticker now in second place. And here comes George Bowes as well. George Bowes is going to try and go round the outside here. Try and get back on the inside. No, not quite close enough. So he stays behind. But now he's on the outside for the second hairpin. Hairpin number 2. That breaks much, much earlier. Again, trying to hold back onto that inside. Good look over the shoulder for Joel Grieg. It's probably best to look where you're going, Joel, and not behind you too much. But there we go. Under braking now into the S's. And negotiating our way through there. That's good. And back down the hill into the St John's corner. So they've got through there. And then clear through there as well. So 11 laps to go. And it looks like Joel Grieg is under some immense pressure now from George Bowes as they exit the final corner onto the start-finish straight and up the hill into turn 1. We get this great camera shot of the flip-flop here. There it is. And then back out that corner. And then we pick them up here as they go into McRae's hairpin. And they exit McRae's there. And this is where we've seen a lot of overtakes throughout today. And then we go to the heavy braking zone here of Iredale's and exit that one, and we go into, of course, the Stewart S's. And we're not using the chicane, of course. We're using the normal hairpin here. Be a bit tricky, I think. But under the braking, 10 laps to go, and these guys still very, very close out there. But George Bowes all over the back of Joel Grieg now. I think we're going to see a move at any point now. It's just where it happens, and when it happens, of course. It's it's still 10 laps to go, plenty of time to make that overtake. But you've got to think, and all this time, Joe Mozzie Mosticker is kind of breaking away here. You've got to keep up with him. Can't let him break away too much, otherwise, yeah, you'll lose that position. You'll have no opportunity to get that second place. So let's see what we can do. There's Joe Mozzie Mosticker going into it. And these two follow in very closely behind. So it's still Joel Grieg in front of George Bowes. George Bowes trying to get any effort he can out there. Joel Grieg, the faster of the two. His new personal best time, 101.1886. But George Bowes is the fastest rider, actually, I would say. His last lap, 101.846. On that one, so slightly faster time on that one, but overall their lap times are pretty much identical. So yeah, very tricky to overtake when someone is lapping exactly the same as you. It's much easier when they're much slower than you, but these guys are absolutely neck and neck all the way throughout. So same amount of rider skill. It's really difficult to try and overtake, and it's proving it here. Bowes really struggling to find anywhere to get past, but it's still providing some excellent close racing for us. 8 laps to go. So 8 laps to go, and Bowes is all over the back of him still. Let's just see as we go down the gears, back into the second hairpin, and then up into the third hairpin. Here's another group of bikes that we've got. Let's see who we've got here. The 85. So that's Billy Carter. And that's probably Hudson Cooper and Charlie Pearson just behind. So 217 and the 100, yes it is. So they're having a nice little scrap here at the back of the grid. So this is 8th, 9th and 10th. And they're having a cracking little battle here. So Charlie Pearson looking to the inside. Can't quite do it there. But Billy Carter leading this little group of 3 as the 217 of Hudson Cooper looking to the inside, thinking against it that time. Still staying into position now as these guys go down into the tricky hairpin, tricky left-hander I should say, or right-hander I should say. And there we go as they go through Sunny Bend now into the final corner, Paddock Bend. I can see them out the window of the cafe. I wouldn't say Comes Box, but we are in the cafe as they cross the line, 7 laps. And there we go, so the 217 is really closed up, so it's Hudson Cooper all over the back now of Billy Carter as they go through. But they're the 100 there, that's Charlie Pearson. He's tried to really go wide there and tried to get back, can't quite do it that time. They go down the gears into this hairpin here, cracking stuff, some really good racing lines from these guys as they're going through. And of course these are some of the younger riders, and it's great to see them out there really showing us what they can do. And it's a good exit there from the 217 of Hudson Cooper, but now he's got the company of Charlie Pearson. Pearson on the outside, they're almost 3 wide into this hairpin here. Pearson backs out of it though, which is a very wise thing to do, and he manages to slot in behind. But it's still Cooper on Carter. Carter still at the front of this little group of 3. So 6 laps to go. There's still plenty of opportunity to gain positions here for all these riders. Let's just see what they can do as they go down now into the final corner, going past the start-finish line and the comms box. Up the hill now into turn number 1. You can see the little patch there that was left in qualifying earlier today. Not sure if that was for your oil, but yeah, it's there. Fastest lap of the race though, Daniel Stevenson. He's just crossed the line now and set that. And these guys still very close actually. Hudson Cooper there having to avoid Carter. Carter coming back up onto the circuit quite quickly, almost collecting the front wheel. Guys still trying to find any gap they can, going to the inside. And then we're back with now this is Bowes and Grieg. Bowes is still looking to try and get past, can't find anywhere this time. Again, this has been the story of the race so far, is Bowes trying to get past Grieg and not finding anywhere at the moment, but I'm sure as we enter the last few laps, he is going to try and pile on the pressure just to see what he can do. But here we go, he's really close now as they go downhill into St John's. Can't quite do anything there, so then he slots back. Now we're into Sunny Bend. Nothing there, and then we go into the final bend here, Paddock Bend, both dropping it on the knee there. Bringing it back up. Bowes trying to get up early and get on that power. Can't quite do anything there. Now they go up the hill. Again, still struggling to find anywhere here. 4 laps to go. Both go down a gear. That Marshall was looking the wrong way. I'm sure he's watching the other guys though. It just looked like he was looking the other way. 4 laps to go. And these guys both into the hairpin here, both very committed. Oh, and Bowes running wide, kicking up some dirt there. Managing to keep it upright though. Yeah, it's definitely not the ideal way to get round that corner, so very, very wide there, using all the track available to him. And then back down the hill now, 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go, and then down into St John's again, very tricky corner. And then round Sunny Bend as well. So very, very close behind. These guys dropping it in there on the knee, that's nice. And when I had my go on one of these, I don't think my knee even touched the ground. So there we go, these kids are braver than me, that says a lot. So, say 3 laps to go. These guys still neck and neck all the way through. Daniel Stevenson still leading the way. He's the only rider into the under a minute. Everyone else is sub 1 minute, so or over a minute. 1:01.2 from Joe Mozzie Mosticker out there. He's 19.3 seconds down from Daniel Stevenson. This is a big old gap. And then these two are about 4 seconds down from Mosticker. So big gaps at the front in terms of the podium, but this is of course the battle for third position. This is the last place on the podium. 2 laps to go. And let's see what happens. So it is penultimate lap time. Let's see as we go out of the final corner back onto the start-finish straight. Just to see what happens. So Bowes hasn't got long to do it now. He's going to look anywhere he can. He's only got a lap and 3/4 to do it. And he's side by side with him now. Is he on the outside? Has he got past? So Joel Grieg still holding at the inside. Has he tried to get the cut back? Now they're still side by side. No, it's still Grieg in front. So that was the best we've seen so far from George Bowes at trying to get past Joel Grieg. Couldn't do it that time around, but of course he's still got one more lap to do it. So he did it that time almost. So let's see if he's going to try and line that up again. So back onto the back straight as we're going down now into St John's. There's your race leader, and that's how far ahead he is. So it's last lap time, and your race leader is miles away. He's 21 seconds clear of Joe Mosika, and he's Joe Mosika is 4 seconds clear now, 4.6 seconds clear of those two battling that we were just watching there, Joel Grieg and George Bowes. So that kind of says a lot. So he's 25, 26 seconds up the road is Daniel Stevenson here. So he has had a very commanding race. He's absolutely ridden away with it. He's only got one more corner to do as well. And here we go. Around the corner there. Onto the start-finish line to see the checker flag for race 2 for the CW Bikes Junior SM90 and Mini GP. And we now cut back to this battle for third place. It's still Bowes behind Grieg. So is Grieg going to have anything to do? Can't do anything this time into that corner. He's only got the final corner to do it in. This is it. Can Bowes get in front as they look to the inside? Can't quite do it this time as they cross the line, and there it is. And the start marshal there very nearly getting run over. And there is a recovering bike, the 998, and that is Ollie Pearson. So Ollie Pearson, who is in 5th place on my timing screen, has had a bit of a mechanical issue, and is trying to get the bike going again. And one of the marshals there pushing him away, and there he goes, got it going. So there we go, Ollie Pearson there, managing to lose a couple of positions. Ruby Booth taking the checker flag for 5th place now. So that's a big shame there for Ollie Pearson. George Bartle moves up into 6th. And I think Ollie Pearson will cross the line 7th position. So that was a good race then for the CW Bikes Junior SM90s and Mini GPs. Up next, it's the Parker Racing Stock 140s.